In this quick video guide, I want to talk about Creative Commons. We already encountered this topic in other videos, talking about copyright, copyleft, fair use on YouTube or Google. So fair use is basically something that lets you use anything that is copyright protected, but only in very specific conditions, very particular condition. And so it's a new permit, and it's a new doctrine, which is now also something by law that will grant you the use of some contents, but only again with the specific use like educational use or critique and other particular condition. So we are not talking about fair use in this video. We already talked about that in another video. We are going to concentrate in Creative Commons. Now, Creative Commons is, as you can see, a non-profit organization. And you can see here all the information on Wikipedia. So when it was founded, and it's in Mountain View, California. And let's go directly into the website so we can see things a little bit more clearly. Okay, so this is the official website. Now, Creative Commons, it's a particular type of license that can be applied to anything. So it can be applied to images or videos or audio or whatever. And it's kind of a middle way between the copyright, which is when all rights are reserved to the author, and the copyleft, which grants the people to use a particular work without any restriction from the author or anything else. So it's kind of similar when you say copyleft. It's kind of similar to public domain, or for example the CC0, which is one particular Creative Commons license, CC0. So they're like similar. They're they are all different in just small details, and so they are pretty similar. Now, before Creative Commons, we already have something called GPL or GNU, and we already talked about this in another video. And this is often used with software, and it started with software, I believe, and then it can be applied also to other content. But Creative Commons are more appropriate when we are talking about content. So basically what Creative Commons does is creating a middle ground, a middle way, something in between the copyleft concept, which basically lets you do anything with a particular work, and the copyright, which restricts the use of a particular work in any type of use. So if you need to use copyright material, you will always need the license to use that material or that content. If you don't have the rights, you cannot use it. And you can buy the license, you can ask permission to the author or whatever, but you don't have the explicit permission to use it whenever you want or however you want. So you always need to check what you can do with that content and what you cannot. So basically the copyright, it's really restrictive, and the copyleft on the other hand lets you do anything. So authors and also creatives on the web or other digital media are always like struggling between these two types of struggling between these two types of licenses. So this is why Creative Commons was born, is to create different solutions. And then you can just say, okay, this is my work and I'm using the Creative Commons blah blah blah. We will see that we have different Creative Commons licenses here, and you can use many different licenses which have their own restrictions and their own permissions. Now, if you scroll all the way down here, even in the same, yeah, there you go, in the Creative Commons official website, you have that two icons right there at the bottom. Those represent a particular license, Creative Commons license. So if I click there, or I open up this into another page, it's gonna show me another page of the Creative Commons website. So when you are in whatever other website, or you are perhaps looking at an image. So let's say I want to search for the image of a dog, and you can see here in Google that you can activate here. Let's go into images, and with the tools we can go to usage right and say Creative Commons license. Now this will be all Creative Commons licenses, but be careful because not all the image have the same license. So if I go here and I need to get inside the website and go check which license this author wants to use. So you always have to mention the author. Well, not always, but that's a good practice as well. So let's see here. There you go. Now you can see that this is the Creative Commons license right here, and it's also telling you something here. It's telling you, okay, you can copy, distribute, and transmit. You can adapt, and you must give the appropriate credit. So provide a link to the license, or indicate if you make changes, and all the indications that you will need to check if you want to use this particular work. Now let's go back here. So every time you are in a website, just look for this, because this is gonna tell you what you can do, what you cannot do. And if we go back here, yeah, this is the one that the Creative Commons website uses. And if we see here, this is called the Attribution 4.0 International. These are the two icons that represent this particular license, and this is the shorter name. So it's called CC by 4.0. And if you scroll down, it's going to give you really quick, simple, and synthetic indications. So for example, here it's telling you, okay, you have found this work, then you are free to copy, redistribute in any medium or format. You are also free to adapt, so you can remix, you can transform, and create your own work, even commercially in this case. And the licensor cannot revoke these freedoms as long as you follow the license terms. Now, also we have other terms here. So you need to give appropriate credit, provide a link to the license, indicate if changes were made, and you need to use this in a reasonable manner. There you go. And no additional restriction, basically, so you can do anything else. But this is the most important thing that you need to do. So the CC BY, it's asking you, okay, yeah, you can use this stuff, but be careful to give credit. And that's it. It's one of the simplest. Now, what are the other licenses that we have out there? We can just go again in the official website here. We will find all the information. So for example, they also have a search for CC images here. So if I search for dog here, okay, there you go. This is kind of a search engine, and you can see that the license is indicated above all images. So this one here is CC0. CC0 is the most free. So you can do basically anything with this. So if you click here, there you go. You have the, yeah, exactly. So it's the same of public domain. So it's probably the same thing. Okay, and here basically with the CC0, you can do anything here. But if you want to, you can still give credit to the author, even though it's not mandatory and it's not asking for this. Also, you can donate here to authors, you can donate to the Creative Commons project, and so on. Okay, so you have here all the different licenses that you can find. So this one here is the one that we saw before, and this is public domain, and also this one here, it's public domain, so no copyright at all. Now in the website you will also find other useful tools, like how to choose the correct license here if you want to share your work, and how you can use and remix content, and doing that with the appropriate credit to the authors. And also here, if you go in what we do, we will find all other information, but the one that you could be really interested in is the Creative Commons license page. So if you click here, or you just search for creativecommons.org/about/cc licenses, you will find this page where you can see a brief explanation of all the licenses. So this is the one that we saw, CC BY, the first one, and this is when you need to give credit to the creator. And this one here is the CC BY SA, so it's adding other restrictions. So for example, if you do adaptations, those must be shared under the same terms, so you cannot change the terms. They must be similar to the original license. This one here is non-commercial use, and the CC BY and C, and then you can figure out the rest. You just scroll down, you can see all the different types of license, and then you can choose the one that you like the most. CC0 is basically public domain, so you don't need to do anything. You don't have conditions or any restrictions at all. So I believe that this is a really helpful and good website, really well organized, so you can donate them and support them. You can also support us by subscribing in the channel, and also you can join if you want to support us, so that we can make more video guides like this. And if you have questions, or if you have other suggestions or other indications, please write it in the comments below. And also, if you want, you can check other video guides here in our channel. Just search for it, and when you search in the channel, you will find also similar topics. So for example, if I type fair use, which is again that particular permission to use anything, also copyrighted material, but being careful to follow particular and really restrictive instructions. So if you want to know more about that, just type, and you will find some results in Italian and English. Just go for the English video, of course. And also you can check in the playlist page various courses, video guides that we do in many topics about open source, about many other software and websites and apps. So this will be all for this video guide. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.